how to heal from within.
Mhm.
Like even those words, knowing this podcast that you're listening to, listeners, I guarantee whatever chaos you are in shifted.
Yeah.
And that pen was from, so you might have been a 12, but the moment you go, oh, I found this amazing podcast, How to Heal from Within, I know that 12 is already shifted.
Mm.
So those words you say to yourself, the words you say to others are important, but also, see, even when I say words that are important, there's a million things I can think of. There's like the trust, there's acknowledge, I'm going to bring those into separate things, but there's so much from that. Just know that the words are important, and I'm going to say nothing is permanent.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Hi.
Hello, my dear. Welcome to another one of our deliciously motivated mindset podcast conversations, chit chats, chin wags.
Yeah. Chin wags here.
This one, I'm really, really looking forward to today's conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about how to heal from within. Even just saying those words, I can just feel this sort of warmth and glow of calmness and groundedness and well-being and alignment.
Instantly, it just made me go, oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because don't you think I can really feel it at a heart level. Whereas, sometimes when we talk about tips and ideas and techniques, and that can actually be quite thought-based. Whereas this one, it just made me immediately drop down into my heart space. So that's kind of where I'm vibing at. So dear listeners, before we get into this conversation on how to heal from within, we start off each one of our episodes with what we call the PEMS check-in. And that's checking in with all 4 pillars of you, the 4 pillars being your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, your mental well-being, and your spiritual well-being. It's really important to just very quickly assess, where are you? How are you? What's going on? And this is a beautiful assessment tool that you can use throughout your days and understand that the number shifts and changes all the time. We shift and change depending on what's going on internally, what's going on around us, what we forgot and what we didn't forget, and so if we're hungry, if we've had enough sleep. So we rate ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10. So 0 is where you're feeling completely calm, zen, peaced out. And 10, the other end of the spectrum, is where you're feeling chaotic, crazy, stuck, don't know if you can get through something. And like I said,
Life is hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
And so, like I say, we move up and down. So what we invite you to do, we're all going to check in and give ourselves a number now. And then listeners, we encourage you to check on the halfway point, and then we'll all check in again at the end. And of course, our joint intention here is to meet you wherever you are and gently, nurturingly ease you towards that 0. So, my dear Deb, all that being said, where are you?
1.5. Because I have this niggle. I literally walked back into the office and went, and I went, where did that come from? I don't have time for that today. I'm getting back on the podcast. That was literally, so I went, oh, I'm a 1.5 because that niggle just came up.
Just showed up.
Mm.
Interesting, interesting. So actually, it's funny because I have a wee dry tickle in the back of my throat too that just came up. So
Oh,
I'm
you
putting
can't have the
myself at
same
a
as me.
1.
Oh.
No, 1.0 for me. That's where. So I was intrigued to see you being at a 1.5. So, dear listeners, like I said, just make a wee note. Where are you? And grab your note-taking device, pen, pencil, electronic note-taking thingy. Thingy.
Thingy, whatever it is. Moira's purple pen. Can we kick it off?
Yes, or my purple pencil. How to heal from within. So where would you like to start with this one, my dear?
I think even just I'm going to say words are important.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm going to start this off with words. These are in no particular order, by the way, people.
Of
Words are
course,
important.
they just occur as they occur to us.
And I'm talking about the words to yourself and to others, definitely. But even just going, there's a how to heal from within, knowing that you can resolve this, how to heal from within.
Mhm.
Like even those words, knowing this podcast that you're listening to, listeners, I guarantee whatever chaos you are in shifted.
Yeah.
And that pen was from, so you might have been a 12. But the moment you go, oh, I found this amazing podcast, How to Heal from Within, I know that 12 is already shifted.
Mm.
So there's words you say to yourself, the words you say to others are important, but also, see, even when I say words that are important, there's a million things I can think of. There's like the trust, there's acknowledge, I'm going to bring those into separate things, but there's so much from that. Just know that the words are important, and I'm going to say nothing is permanent.
Mm. Yep. I like
Because
that.
just saying, just just if you go, oh, how to heal from within, oh, that's gonna help me. Like knowing that your 1.5 Deborah is gonna shift. Like knowing that. Yeah, the words you say to yourself and to others and around you are important.
Absolutely. The talking about words.
A whole lot of reveling of more tips just on that one particular one, isn't it?
Well, there is. But what I was thinking, where I was going with that one is the recognition of how powerful you are. You know, I'm an energy healer. And as an energy healer, I'm not the healer. The person that I work with is actually the healer. So people like myself, like myself and Deb, in the work that we do, we are facilitators. We are space holders. We are conduits to help people awaken that healing capacity within. So that's why I'm saying is that we are unbelievably powerful beings. But if we listen to our head thinking, oh my gosh, I've got this symptom, or this is broken within me, or this is not going well, we have to come back into the capacity for shifting and changing is within you. Now, that does not mean that you don't go and have, treatments or coaching or help, but you're still the boss.
Yeah.
Right? So you're the orchestrator. You're the one that says, more of this and less of that, and come show me how to do this. But it's all awakening the healer within you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And can we just say there's a subject there for us to do a workshop, Awaken the Healer.
Oh, I like that. Awaken the healer within.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
If you're interested in that,
you have to let us know. Oh, I love that. I want to do that.
But then I was just like, that's a whole program, but that's a bloody good program.
That would be awesome. Just think of how we could do that. I'd love that. So listeners, just a wee PS here. Let us know. Let us know. Would you like to have a workshop with Me and Deb to awaken the healer within.
I love it. I think it's a great title.
Me too. Me too.
Someone else
Make a note of
or
that.
us then- yeah, we'll get that out there quickly. But I love that. Awaken the healer within. Okay. Everything Moira just said, I went, oh, there we go. That's written down on my notes. Perfect. Yes, let us know. Let us know. I'm going to say acknowledge, and acknowledge that you're an 8 out of 10 in a funk, which is your M's. Acknowledge that that Moira's a 1, that I'm a 1.5. Acknowledge, because the moment, how to heal from within is the moment you acknowledge you have a problem, and I'm going to label it a problem, or I'm going to label it a wobble, or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. When I say problem, there's always a solution to the problem. We just know that. But acknowledge that there is something going on. Oh, today I'm a 1.5. Oh, today I'm a 6. Oh, an hour ago I was a 10 because my kids wouldn't get in the car or whatever. But acknowledge, the moment you can acknowledge and tell yourself, I know Moira talked about telling yourself the truth at one of our recent podcasts.
Yeah.
But tell yourself the truth. The moment you acknowledge it, then the universe and all the surroundings and everything will come together. But the more you're denying stuff,
Yeah, it gets louder.
it's
Dang
just
it. Why won't you hear me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why? But so the first, well, one of the tips to heal, because we all have different levels of healing, but as soon as you acknowledge it, that chaos from that 10 goes to a 9.
Yeah.
You go, oh, okay, that makes sense. I've had no sleep, or the other day I slept. I slept for, let's just say I slept over 10 hours, 12 hours. It was actually
Quite a long time.
yeah, and I needed it. And the moment I went, oh, I've acknowledged I've got a problem. I just need to sleep this off, whatever it was. And my body healed, like during that time that I just rested and shut my mind.
Yeah, because you just rebounded and reset back to,
If you'd seen me the day before, you would have been going, that's not possible. But I have that trust. I have all these things that we're going to share today of how to heal from within. But one of them is acknowledge. The moment, like I was driving, I had a friend with me. I'd had, little sleep. I'd been on high adrenaline, coffee to keep me functioning, like all the things that I say to people, don't do.
Don't do this.
I've done that the last week. Last week I did that. And my body just went, no more. And so I acknowledged I had a problem. Yeah. And I think I'm just going to add on from that acknowledge is not only do you have a problem, find that right people around. Find the right people who you can just
the support,
with the support. And so as much as you acknowledge you've got a problem, the flow on from that is acknowledge. And once you can acknowledge, then go, okay, now I need help. Don't let that sit in the acknowledgement state for a day or 2 or 3 or whatever. I need help. There's something going on. The moment you've acknowledged instantly, but the moment you reach out to someone, that then shifts from an 8 to a 6 or an 8 to a 5. Like it shifts. They're just so quick and simple. And when I say find your tribe, I'm 100% going to say Moira and Deborah. Definitely. I'm going to say that because we have over 50 years experience. If we actually add it up, we'd probably scare ourselves. There's a lot more. We'll just say we have
over just 50 going with 50. Over 50.
Of experience, yes, to help people heal whatever's going on. We do this because we love it, but we're unattached to, I was going to say unattached to your emotion. We don't buy into your stuff. We can hold energy and space. How do I say that without just saying I don't care about your problems?
I care about your problems.
I know. That's what it feels
it's like not getting caught up in the crazy making thinking or the agendas or the shoulds or the chaos.
We can see, Moira and I can see it. Yeah, we can see a lot clearer. We can filter out that stuff and go, okay, this is actually the problem. Yeah. It's not that this is not done. It's actually, this has come from when you were 5 and you had a conversation with your mother, and that's where it is. We can see that. We can see that like that. The moment you start talking, we can see it because we're very good at what we do. That's all I'm saying. So acknowledge and then tribe. There. Whoops.
There you go.
2 tips.
2 tips in one. Acknowledge and then turn to your tribe.
Yeah.
From there, so acknowledge is one of our tips that we often weave into our conversations, but another one that we often weave in is appreciate. So how to heal from within is to appreciate what it is you're experiencing. What is the gift of this symptom or scenario or situation? Because nothing is a punishment.
Mm.
It is a gift. So how to heal from within is sometimes that requires us to soothe our nervous system and to be an objective, interested observer. Oh, like your example, Deb, about you really acknowledged something's off in the force field for you, and you needed to go and sleep it off.
I would not have thought, but I would not have thought to do that. I wouldn't have thought I'll just go to sleep and I'll wake up and the problem will be gone. Like that was the lead. I hadn't even, I just went, you know what? Just sleep. Just sleep. We'll deal with it all later. Like everything can just wait right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But
And
then
when
even in hindsight, you can appreciate that you followed through and did it. And your
that
schedule allowed for you to do that
I was just
too.
going to say, and everything, when I got to that state, everything just opened up for me. And just when I messaged my team, I said, I can't meet, this, because I literally did not know what I was going to be dealing with the next day, if I was going to be worse or not.
Right.
I just went and I read, and everything just, the moment I acknowledged I had that problem, the water parted. But like the problems just dispersed. Everything just went into flow. Like, okay, we've got this.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah. And it was an appreciation. I was like, oh, thank goodness my team are acceptable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so thankful and this and this. And I did get appreciative. I was appreciative that I had a girl with me who was in my car and she took over my driving, because I literally all of a sudden my vision went, yeah. So it wasn't like, oh, this is not good.
Right.
Otherwise I would have had to have pulled over and probably slept.
Right.
Slept for 12 hours on the side of the road in my car. But it was a total appreciation. It just shifts. It just shifts. Yeah.
And something else that I've been saying, I was going to say of late, but it's like as soon as I said that, I was like, yeah, but Moira, you say it all the freaking time. About the appreciating that little inner critic voice. That, you know what I mean by that? So you have an inner critic voice that says, oh, I should have done this, or you should have just pushed through it. Like, why aren't you just, suck it up, take a glass of water and push through this feeling.
Build a bridge, get over it, says my dad. Yeah.
There, see? So that actually is not you. It's a component of you. It's an inner critic. It's a little judgy voice. Appreciate it. When you can actually say thank you to it, thanks. Because what it's doing, it's a component of you that's trying to keep you safe or trying to make you look good or, keep up the form or show up in the way. But it's based on something that doesn't exist in this moment. It's something that's not relevant anymore. Right? So for instance, for me, oftentimes that inner judge would be people pleaser type of conversation of like, oh, this person's going to be upset if you don't come through with this, if you don't just toughen up and push through this extreme fatigue that you've maybe got going. If I can just say thank you to it. Thank you. I get that you're wanting me to show up as the best version of me, but it's not the truth right now. What's right now is that I need to reshift my schedule or say, no, I can't do this. And does that make sense? It's like to just really appreciate the inner dialogue too.
And I'm going back to our pens at the start, nothing's permanent, but just appreciation, I guarantee, will shift your chaos of 10 or your chaos of 8 to a 6 or a 5. And it just like, even like every tip we're giving you, will, I guarantee, will shift that level closer to that 0 when we talked about it. But they're so simple. You do not have to. I think, okay, well, my tip is kiss. And
we have both. We have 2 different versions of this one. But yes, I like this one.
I'll do Moira's one. Keep it simple, sweetheart.
Yes.
That's literally keep it. Then there's another one, keep it super simple.
Yes.
And then there's another one, keep it simple, stupid, which isn't the best language for yourself.
Take
But
whichever one resonates with you.
it's just to say, take whatever you want out of that tip, but just remember KISS. Just remember KISS. Life does not have to be complicated. Life does not have to be chaotic.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason and a season and all those things, but it doesn't have to be like that. So if you keep things simple, sweetheart, just keep it simple. Okay. Oh, okay. And it can just keep you on flow, and it's just KISS. That's it.
I love that. And you know what? Things can be. That actually references back to the one that I was just talking about appreciating your inner chatter that says, oh, this is going to be really difficult and really overwhelming and really...
And it's going to take me days and months to get myself out of this. And that whole thing that you're on that bandwagon where you're running a marathon of crazy making thinking.
Crazy making thinking, but that's a hamster wheel, because it's really difficult to get off that looping thing too, right? So you say thanks, keep it simple. All I need to do is say thanks. I heard you. But that's not the situation that we're going through right now.
And even our Zoom just popped up and went, yo,
just said, I've got that.
Where his hand went, I've got this. So there you go. From Moira and I and our Zoom, KISS.
Yes.
I love that.
That's funny. So, I just realized it's been a few episodes since we brought up the 4 agreements.
Oh.
But if you think about it, they are really, really important in this conversation about how to heal from within. Now, you did say already about the words are important for about yourself and to others, but think of the 4 agreements. So the first one is to be impeccable with your word. So that is being impeccable with your word. And that also includes the thoughts you're thinking about yourself, your situation, your sense of well-being or lack of wellness.
Yeah.
Being impeccable with your word. The next one is to not take things personally. If somebody is having a tantrum or screaming and shouting and accusing you of stuff, it's not about you. It's not about you.
Even that alone, this is not about you. When someone has a car crash, and even if you cause that car crash in their mind, this is not about you. Their reaction is this is their stuff. Like, I love that. This is, it's not about you.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
The third one is to not make assumptions. So not making assumptions means even if the last time you were in this scenario and had this kind of diagnosis or this kind of project or thing starts, it doesn't mean it's going to go that way again. Because you're new, you're different, the environment's different, situation's different. So don't make assumptions that, oh, there's no point in even trying that because it's not going to help heal me. That's not going to...
And it's that word assumption.
Yeah.
Now, I remember somebody saying to me what assume means. Yeah, I didn't know what that meant. Someone said to me, makes an
ass out of you and me. It was actually me that said that to you.
So I was like, who said that? I was actually thinking, who said? Of course, it's Moira. but that's it. That when you get onto that assumption, like you're
absolutely
on a bit of crazy making train.
Absolutely, and you are definitely moving away from that idea of healing from within.
And there's no
caught in your thinking.
There. Yeah, there ain't no KISS there.
No, there certainly is no KISS there. The 4th agreement is to always do your best. Now, that is an essential component to healing from within, because it's really acknowledging, how we did the PEMS check-in at the beginning? We actually do it at the beginning of every one of our conversations, but your best on a day where maybe you only had 3 hours sleep and you've got like a huge to-do list and your kids are screaming and your deadlines are like coming up on the radar, your best is going to be at a certain level.
Yeah.
Whereas on the day where you've had excellent sleep, you've got everything taken care of, everything's going beautifully to plan, your best is going to be way higher.
Mm.
So what often happens is on those days where your PEMs are really out of whack, you'll think, well, but yesterday my best was up here and I have to achieve that same level. And it's not fair. That actually is a detrimental to your own sense of well-being. So always do your best means you gotta do the check. What's your bandwidth? What's your capacity? What's your capability? Right?
Mm. I love the 4 agreements. And when she started talking, I had to pull them up because I forget them. I forget them. And it's only when something happens, I go, oh, there's a 4 agreement right there. It's only like in my head. So I had to pull them up. But they are so simple. They're
They are.
so simple. Literally a kiss again. And
Yeah.
if you can live by those 4 agreements, and don't beat yourself up if you go, oh, don't take anything personally. And like today, you took something personally. It's like, okay, righto, move on.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I took
So that was your best for that day. Your best was, yeah, I really did take it personally.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. But yeah, I love the 4 agreements. One of the tips I'm going to bring in here is actually about our body, and as much as we haven't, well, trust is in there, but also I want to, well, maybe the next one's trust. This is actually about our body. Like our body doesn't lie. Our body tells us swipe left, swipe right. You know, what's right or wrong or whatever.
This is the seat of your intuition, for sure.
Yes. So our body tells us this is good for us. This is not good for us. This is whatever, you know. My body, I love this about my body. 99% of the time, if I eat something bad, or and I'm gonna label it bad. If I eat junk, my body goes, oh yeah, let's get it out. Like my body literally just goes, no, and it's gone. It's just gone. If something goes on, if I've got a headache, I'm like, oh, what's going on here? What's the bigger picture going here? Your body's giving you signs and symptoms to wake you up to the truth, to keep you on track for your purpose. Like your body,
your well-being,
your body doesn't lie to you. It's your mind that lies to you to tell you to swipe left or right, but your body tells you and guides you to the truth every single time. So
I love that.
So well, there's definitely trust in there, which is a whole different scenario, but know that your body doesn't lie.
So the other key component of that, though, is to cultivate an awareness and a listening to what is your body telling you, right? Because all too often it's like, yeah, I've got a headache, so I'm just going to take a pill and ignore it, right?
And I do take a pill. Can I just say, sometimes if I have a headache, I'll take a pill, because to me it's easier to take a pill before I start questioning the process or looking down that thing. Sometimes I do. So don't think taking a pill is the end of the world and I'm a bad person for taking a pill and there's all these toxins, like, unless you're allergic to those pills, I just have to say. But then definitely don't do that. But taking a pill, sometimes that's what you have to do. You got to do the best you can with what you have, which is, you know, going back to that 4 agreements, always do your best. Yeah.
No, and it's really funny though for me, because I don't. If I have a headache, I would have to be in absolute dire straits. My husband knows this about me. If he ever sees me taking something like that, he knows, holy crap, it's on a scale of 0 to 10, Moira's at a 90.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, sometimes I gotta, well, see, even
But I agree with that. I agree with you. Like I know I have high pain tolerance, and so here's the thing, and it's really about needing to know ourselves, is that when I sit in something like that, I actually get more of the guidance from it than if I took something to alleviate it. But I have been really, really ill and had, yep, the pills got it. I got to treat this, and once I've to the other side, I can analyze it and get the gifts and learn
Right
from it.
now it's a pill, or right now it's a,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
when I was sick the other day, I didn't take a pill. I went straight to
You
bed.
just went to
I was like,
sleep. Yeah.
sleep this off. And then in the morning I'll deal with whatever I've got.
Right.
You know, that.
But really, in your example with that, you were really 100% listening to your body and allowing it to make the choices and the decisions for you.
Yes, yes. And I had people around, so there was no ego to go, oh, I've got to pretend I'm okay and I've got to do this. And, you know, there was none of that. It was just like, oh, yeah, no, this is me. I need to shut down. And it wasn't need, which is a survival word. I say, I need to do this. You know, I need to shut down right now. I need to shut myself down because there's too much going on, which I didn't even know what it was, but I couldn't have sat there. I don't believe I could have sat there and gone, let's just work through this.
No, because you would not have had the bandwidth for it.
No, there were very little bandwidth. Yeah.
You know, the thing about the taking pain medications, I was thinking about a time that when I broke my arm. This is going back a long time ago, but I was in so much pain, and so I did take. Actually, this is where I found out that I'm allergic to morphine. They gave me morphine for the pain, and I'm like, oh, whoops.
Listen to me laugh. Listen to me laugh. I'm allergic to morphine. Yep. Okay.
But from there at the hospital, they did give me painkillers. I think they probably gave me Tylenol 3s, and I took one, and that was it. I didn't take any more after the first day. And part of it was because I really knew what the pain was. I wasn't trying to run away or have fear about it or anything like that, right? So when we have a known, this is in my experience, when we know what's going on, we can actually self-soothe easier. Whereas if it's a headache and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to get the intel from this and I have to figure out what was it that created this? That's when you will need more, you need help. Like take the painkiller or take the headache remedy, that type of thing, right?
100%. And I love that, you know, Moira said a couple of sentences ago, she said, know yourself.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about and Moira knew, you know, Moira pretty much knew if she takes any medication, if she's not a medicated person and she takes a medication, then it's going to throw her body out.
Yeah.
Like it's going to. I'm allergic to tramadol, which is like a version of
like
morphine.
Yeah.
And the nurse said to me, you're allergic to it? I was like, no, I'm allergic to bees and wasps, or well, way back then. I said, no, nothing. And she literally put it into my arm. And the moment she put it in, she hadn't even finished putting it all in. It hit my system and my body reacted. And I went into convulsions and on the stretcher where I was in hospital, and literally started convulsing. And then when I came out of that, I started vomiting. And she said, I've never seen anything so quick before. And I must have been I think about that, I must have been about 26 or 27. And she said, your body's a temple. Your body knows what works for it. And I remember her saying that in a hospital. I like
that. Your body's a temple.
And she said, and I just remember thinking that, like, oh, my body, I have to listen to my body. And it was just it was that word. It must have been, you know, I was about to say half a century ago. I'm not that old, but half my life ago, as it was, you know, half of how old I was.
Quarter of a century ago.
Exactly. But, you know, your body's a temple. And and when Moira said, know yourself, I'm like, yeah, I feel like I know my body, but I'm not, I know my body. I know what's right or wrong. It's not like that.
Not that kind of, yeah.
And she said that to me, and I remember thinking, yeah, it does. If it's not good for me, it's out. But this was literally, she hadn't even finished putting it into she hadn't even finished putting the injection, the needle, whatever it is, in. Yeah. And my body just went, nope, it's not happening. And she said no one's ever reacted that quickly before to something.
That interesting?
Yeah, and that is what stuck in my mind. I'm like, my body is a temple, and I still put junk in my mouth. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Human life that we do stuff like that for.
I put junk in my head and my mouth. Like I know that, but I'm quick to see it, and I'm quick to see it, and my body is quick to throw that away.
You know what you're saying about that? That reminds me this is going back a really long time. Like,
Well, half
like
a century ago. Is that what I was about to say?
It's not
At
half a
least
century ago, but I'm thinking it's probably almost 30 years. No, it's even more than 30. Okay, it doesn't matter how long ago it was. But I was in hospital and I had an IV in. And I had it in for probably 3 or 4 weeks. I was actually in the hospital for about a month at this point, long time ago. And I knew that
Must have
my
been a goodie.
body, what was that?
Must have been a goodie.
Must have been a goodie.
Yeah.
I knew that my body didn't want the IV in anymore. So I had called the nurse and said, can the IV come out? Because my body's pushing it out. And she is like, I mean, this is in England. And she just thought I was the weirdest thing ever. Like, what do you mean?
Probably back then it was weird to the odd one person. I do feel we're more aware in the current day of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I just really knew that my body was pushing this thing out. And probably within an hour of me having called that, it actually popped out. Physically, it popped out of my arm. And then they're like, how did this happen? I'm like, well, we didn't have to spurtle everything everywhere if you had listened to me. My body was saying, I don't want this thing in me anymore.
Yeah, your body is, our mind is knowledgeable. We can feed it anything we want. We can feed it positive, negative. The mind has a mind of its own anyway, but we can control it to a certain degree. But our body, you can't.
That's right.
Your body's like, yeah, good on you, Deb.
The
You
greater intelligence comes from that.
think you're gonna have 3 hours sleep with 1 meal a day for 6 days and it's not going to affect you?
Yeah,
yes,
truly.
of course, oh God, duh. You know, like your body is not, because that's ultimately what I was doing. By the way, people, I was definitely going, oh, I haven't eaten. It's 5 o'clock. No wonder I'm hungry.
Yeah,
5 p.m. You know, and your body just, I'm a firm believer your body doesn't lie. Right there, my body told the nurse, this is not for me. Right there, Moira educated the nurse and said to her, this is true. This is how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and that goes back to that know yourself as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But, I still would like us to bring trust as a separate tip, because about the how to heal from within. That's what we're talking about today, is that you might not know the best choices, the best way forward, but when you trust yourself, you say, okay, I'm not going to get caught up in the crazy making thinking or the anxiety or the fear-based thinking that might block me or hold me back from seeing and recognizing, to take this, to go and do your 10 hours sleep. That's always been the go-to for me when I need healing, or to top up on that is I need more sleep. I think that's a really powerful one. But to trust that even if I don't know what it is and I don't recognize it right now, I trust myself that I'm going to recognize, and it'll, transpire in the right way for me. Does that make sense?
I think, yeah, trust, and even if you've been burnt before from your trust, I just have to say that, like, don't hold on to that. And I say burnt before with your trust because it just means you didn't do it right.
Yeah.
But even if you've been burnt before, just have that trust. Have that trust that it's on the way, not in the way.
Yeah.
Have that trust that I can do this, or I don't want to do this, or this is the right person to have around, or my body is
this.
Yeah, I've got this. And that's it. That's beautiful. Back to your hand on heart. I've got this. I've got this. I'm conscious of our time, but I really feel like we've only tipped the
we
ice.
just started this. I know.
And literally, I'm like, how did the time go?
How did that happen?
I was like, what? So I'm going back to our one of our tips was, before we wrap up, is awaken the healer within. If you would like that, there's going to be a million. This was not our intention to only give you partially tips to help you heal from within, but there's definitely a workshop there, Awaken the Healer Within, because
I feel that one. You're talking about listening to our body. My body lights up with that idea.
my shoulders went up in my thing and I was like, oh, quick. So go back to the, before we wrap up, I'm just going to say, Awaken the Healer Within. If you'd like more, we are here. Let's get this puppy going, because I think that's a great one. So, how to heal from within. We might add another tip at the end. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. Truth is, I'm just trusting that it's going to happen, whatever's going to happen. So grab your note-taking device. If you've just been listening as you're driving or anything like that, you've just been listening, grab your note-taking device now. Don't do it if you're driving. But we're going to recap everything we've talked about with less stories, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
So, tip number 1. What's your first bit of wisdom, Moira, on how to heal from within?
Words. Words are important. The words that you use to yourself, about yourself, and to others. That to always remember, and that's you tacked in there that nothing's permanent, which actually makes me think of my cancel. Even if I use words that you go, oh, whoops, cancel.
Yeah, she may not have said that. So that's a great one. When you say those wobbly words,
Wobbly words.
You say those wobbly words, you then go, oh, cancel, and it just gone. And it's a humorous thing. It's a change of state.
It's a lightness.
Change of yeah. It's like, okay, okay, perfect. Words. The next tip we had is, well, actually, Moira did a whole big spiel here, and I only wrote a few words. My words were, you're still the boss, so she's going to have to fill this in. You're still the boss, and Awaken the Healer Within. That's literally all I wrote down on this tip. Now, Moira's going to go, I talked for 4 minutes, and that's all you took.
It's really funny. Just because I talked, it doesn't mean that I filled in lots.
So what was the main tip of that? Because I just went, you're still the boss, is what I got in my head.
My main point of that was to acknowledge how powerful you are. You are powerful.
Yeah.
And so I did talk about that. You are powerful. You are the healer. Even when we enroll the services, we go to a chiropractor or a naturopath or a homeopath, and they're our team, but we are still the boss. We are still the actual healer, because we're orchestrating that and managing it and saying, this mindset piece, or this meditation, or this energy healing, that kind of thing. And even taking medications, which we got to later in our tips. But even that is still awakening that healer within you, right?
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. And she mentioned a word in there, was acknowledge, and I had that as our next tip. I think I put it all in that. I'll just give you 2 tips then. And what's that acknowledge that you have a glitch in your system. Acknowledge that there's something here. And it's not going, acknowledge poor me. It's just going, okay. And we go back to our PEMS. Oh, no wonder I reacted that way because I was an 8. Or no wonder, it's like, no wonder I was okay with that because I was having an amazing day. Like, acknowledge whatever it is that's going on, and knowing that nothing is permanent. Just, okay, well, that makes sense. Just acknowledge it. Well, that's it. And the moment you acknowledge it, that shifts instantly from that 7 to a 6, or that 7 to a 5. The moment you go, hey, I've got my thing, and you've got your hand up, then the universe is just going to start pathing the waters.
You also, when you brought that tip in, you said also about finding your support tribe, right?
Oh yeah, I've got that separate tip.
Oh, did you? Okay. I thought you had put that. Okay, well then the next tip is to have to go to your support tribe, so is that when you acknowledge, okay, this is what's going on, this is the state I'm in, but then you know, and this is why it's so important to know who's your go-to person when you need to be coddled or just nurtured, have a shoulder to cry on. Who do you go to when you need somebody to inspire you or pump you up or help you believe in yourself again? So it's knowing your tribe and having that kind of resource set up for yourself is really important.
Yeah. And when we think about that, people put their past stories and experiences on their spin. So also be aware of people's past stories and experiences. The difference between Moira and I is we are, I hear that word not attached, and I really don't like that word saying I'm not attached to you or to your story or anything. And like I'm here for a purpose to help you resolve whatever it is. I'm not going to buy into your drama. If I label it drama of everything that's going on, I'm going to hold that. We're going to hold that energy, that space. We just have a different level of
well, we just
yeah.
hold neutrality. It's neutrality.
Yes, it is. Yes.
We're just
I'm
holding
like,
neutrality. So you're not to say, oh, I can't tell you this because you'll think I'm a terrible
oh, you'll
person.
judge me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it is that we're both very skilled at just holding neutral space so that you feel safe to be vulnerable and open and speak out what's really going on and saying what you want and what you need. Right?
Yeah. Perfect. Yes, that was a reach out. The next tip I have is appreciate.
Yeah.
Appreciate gratitude. And there's a what you appreciate. What is it? What you appreciate?
Appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah. But appreciate the right here, right now. Appreciate, have gratitude for what you have gratitude for what you don't have. And I think that's the thing is, oh, I don't have this. So have gratitude for it because it's not going to run and control your mind. If you're dealing with something and 24 hours later, you're still dealing with it. Like that's living, what's to say? It's chaos living rent free in your head.
Yeah.
And there's like, but it is just appreciate what you have, appreciate what you don't have, appreciate the situation you're in, appreciate other people's situations. And it just shifts your healing from within. It just shifts instantly. And Moira talked about the inner critic voice. Even appreciate that, oh, you've done it again. Oh, that's stupid, Deborah. I can't believe you've done this. How many times do you need, appreciate that because gratitude shifts everything as quick as that.
Yeah, totally. And it helps you, it changes your state, it lightens you up, it gets you back in flow. Such an important piece.
It's simple. Oh yeah, I looked at my next tip.
Yeah, that's because that's the next step. Keep it simple, sweetheart. It's remembering that. So and that could be 2 wee reminders that I would like to put in here on this KISS idea is, can you start using a mantra of all is well in my world? All is well in my world. All is well in my world. And keep doing that. But also to remember that every problem has a solution. Every issue has a perfect outcome. And these solutions are simple.
I laugh because the amount of times I've gone to do something, I'm like, was it that? It can't be that easy. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? And you're left with, huh? That's exactly it.
That was all there was to it? Who knew?
That I've been putting that task off for 4 weeks. It's gone into my head a million times. I've bet myself over. I've moaned about it. I've taken on all this and just like, and that's it, done.
And I could have just done it.
Been ripped off. I've been ripped off. I thought it was going to be a painful journey. It has been painful the longer you sit in that chaotic moment. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Moira's like, what is she going to say now?
Yeah, wait, what's coming out there?
And one of our tips that became literally a common thread in every podcast for nearly a year.
A long time, yeah.
It was and it wasn't just 4 of them. It was sometimes just one that kept occurring. And that is the 4 agreements. If you haven't looked into that, look into it. But we're going to give you the tip is, number 1, be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take anything personally. Number 3, don't make assumptions. And number 4, always do your best.
Yep.
If you pick one of those and implement it today, just start. If you pick all 4, fabulous, just start. So the 4 agreements will shift you, will get you through, will change things very quickly, guaranteed. And that's a step to how to heal from within.
Yeah, very powerful. And so you could even set the intention each morning for today, just for today. I will be impeccable with my word. I won't take things personally. I won't make an assumption, and I'm going to do my best. That's it. Beautiful way to set up your day.
It's as easy as kiss.
Yes, it is.
Not like, oh, I can't do that every day. How am I going to do that every day? And blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
You can actually just take this as a soundbite and repeat it. There you go.
That's it.
Done.
Perfect.
The next one I have here is about listening to your body. Where I was saying, Deb was talking about your body always knows. Your body knows and guides you to the truth. But this is where I was saying also, this is the seat of your intuition. Your body helps you, feel into what's right for you. And also, I can think of times where I've eaten something that intuitively I knew was good for me at that point, but it doesn't mean that it's good for me every single time. So I can't get into my head saying, okay, well, last time you ate this, this is how it went. So it's the same for everything so it's so important to allow yourself to, even if it's just a press pause, put your hand on your heart. Hello, body, what do you need right now? And allow it to help you make the choices. And applying to everything. Not just what you eat or ingest, but which direction you go, what kind of thoughts you have, what projects you go towards, what projects you go away from, right? Trusting that.
And she mentioned the last tip.
Yes, I did.
Trust. Trust that you've been through the ringer before and you got out the other side. That's the ringer washing machine. I don't know. Did you ever have those over your way?
Yes.
Always got my hand caught. It was like punishment having to do.
I remember that too. I think I've had my hand caught. Hurt your knuckles.
Boom. Okay, that wakes you up. Okay, I'm back on track now.
I'm present. I'm present and aware of what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, what? Yeah, I got a little bit excited. So trust that you're going to get through this. Trust that this is not permanent. Trust that you're doing your best. Trust that you're on track. Trust that others are going to do their best. Trust
that the solution is already there, even if you can't see it. Trust.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trust is vital to living.
Yeah.
So if you're living in an untrustworthy world, you must. If you're living in an untrustworthy world, reach out. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to get very loud here in a minute. I'm not. If you're living in an untrustworthy world that you think that, please stop listening to our podcast and reach out. That's like, just don't let another day go by that you do not trust, because trust is so vital, as vital as a heartbeat.
Trust is fundamental to living life in flow, but it's also an inside job. So trust, because I can think of conversations that I've had, well, I can't trust that person, I can't trust that person. Yes, because you don't trust you first. You must trust you first. Then it goes from there.
But if you're out of trust, please reach out to Moira.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Don't let another minute go by. One of our tips earlier was acknowledge. The moment you acknowledge and then reach out, the moment you acknowledge, that trust starts to shift.
Yep.
The universe goes, finally, we're here.
Yep.
That's it. I will say, we talked about awaken the healer within. If you really, we're going to do it. We know we're going to do. I can tell you now. If you want in, I'm going to do. And you want it at a special rate, at a special price, if you want any of that and you want part of it, say you heard it on the podcast.
Yes.
Say you heard it on the podcast, and we'll give you something. I'm not even looking away from Moira as I'm saying this. We'll
give you something.
We'll give you something. We don't know what it is right now.
Definitely.
But awaken the healer within. Woo! It's going to lift the bag on so much. It's going to lift the roof. So going back to where we are, I trust that you got essential tips to help you heal from within.
Mm-hmm.
I trust you got that. We talked about our PEMS at the start. You checked in with your PEMS halfway. Let's look at see how you've changed in that PEMS. Moira was a 1, I was a 1.5. I don't know where you are, people. Let us know where you were at halfway, and then your final number.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I can probably intuitively guess without even looking at Moira what her number will be. But let's ask for shits and giggles. Let's say that.
You just did.
For giggles here, let's find out what her number is. Moira, what would your number be?
You intuitively were correct. I am a 0.
100%. I'm a 0 too. It's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to be. And this is probably the least amount of tips we've ever shared in our podcast ever, but how to heal from within. We've kept it simple, sweetheart.
We have kept it simple, sweetheart. But this has felt so powerful too. So dear listeners, there's more to come in this one.
Yeah. Awaken the healer within.
Awaken the healer within.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you everybody for today. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for writing notes. Thanks for shifting close to the 0. And I'm going to ask you for one more thing. If you resonated with today, if you liked an aspect, if you even just liked one tip, if you liked all of them, if you loved it, if you liked it and just went, yeah, or if it made you think, we've reached you. That's perfect. So your next step is engage with us.
Yeah.
And that could be on social media. That could be asking a question. That could be, but also not just engage with us, bring in your people.
Yeah.
Bring in your people to listen, to generate that conversation. Because when you're around wise people, your energy shifts. You could be that wise person right now, but let's just get you to heal from within, and let's share this podcast to those you care about and open that conversation. So
I love that.
That's our deliciously motivated mindset conversation with Debz and Moira on how to heal from within. Thank you. Thanks, Moira. Thanks, Internet. Thanks.
Thank you, Internet.
Yeah, this is
cooperating.
beautiful. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you. And we trust that you enjoyed today, and we'll see you, or you'll hear us on the next podcast.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks. You. Bye, everybody.
Bye.